Hello, this is E-Soup, aka Specific Soup. Today I'm doing an album reaction, and this is much awaited for me. I'm reacting to Lux by Rosalía, and I'm doing, I don't know if you call it the deluxe version, or if it's just like the physical version of the album has extra tracks and the online version doesn't, but I'm doing the more complete version. I'm gonna make sure that I find the extra songs, but from what I can tell, there were I think 4 tracks that were on the physical copies that are not in the main version of the album if you just look it up on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. I'm super excited for this album, and I've been waiting until I had the time to do a full album reaction and not listening to any of the tracks. So the only song from this album that I've heard is Berghain, which I did a reaction to the music video of. And I love that one. And if that is any indication of what this album is like, I'm super excited. I also know there's I think 13 languages on this album. And someone very helpfully in this Reddit thread posted a track list with the languages that are in each track. And so I'm going to be looking at that just because that's something that interests me. I find languages interesting, and some of the combinations were really interesting. I can't wait until we get around to Novia Robot, which is apparently in Spanish, Mandarin, and Hebrew. I'm trying to learn Mandarin, but I know these much. But I'm so intrigued by the combination of those languages together. And that's, I think, one of the bonus tracks. Yeah, so I'm just very intrigued by the approach on this album with all the different languages in it. And I'm very intrigued about what it's going to sound like based on hearing Berghain. And based on hearing a little bit of past Rosalía and just seeing all the different kinds of things that she can do, I cannot wait. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. Track 1 is Sexo, Violencia y Llantas. So without further ado, here is Lux by Rosalía. Ooh. Oh. The letters. I wonder what the letters are. What are they from? Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my god. Is that not a violin, but is it a cello, a standing bass? I'm not totally sure, but the strings? Oh my god. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have trouble totally paying attention to lyrics because of just how dense they are and how beautiful the music is. It's hard to pay attention to everything at once. I really like the way that the lyrics are being shown across the screen and kind of intermixing with each other. That's just purely a lyric video aesthetic choice, but I think it's cool. Oh. Okay. Oh my god.
Sexo, violencia y llantas.
Tires.
Deportes de sangre, monedas en garganta.
Oh.
Destellos, palomas y santas. La gracia y el
Sparkles, pigeons, and saints. Grace, the fruit, and the kiss of the scale. These lyrics are amazing.
Primero amar el mundo y luego amar a Dios.
Wow. Oh my god. And here we go to track 2. Okay. That was the first one. That was the first track, and it was amazing. Like it's almost hard to do this as an album review because I want to give each track ample time, but I can't necessarily take that amount of time on this kind of video. But I will say that was incredible. I found the lyrics really interesting. I found the idea of like loving the world and then loving God interesting because like at least within Christianity that I'm familiar with, there's this sort of idea that you have to love God like first and foremost above everything else. It's an interesting concept of like, I will love the world first, wanting to be between the worlds or between things. I forget what she wanted to be between, but I like the idea of like wanting to be between something kind of like in the middle of it or like experiencing everything. That is such a beautiful intro to an album. And it's like, it's only the first track. We're only one track in, and I'm just like what? Like, what is this? You know, the first track was entirely in Spanish, and the second track, Reliquia, is also entirely in Spanish. I've got the subs on, so let's go. Track 2. More strings. Ooh, we're doing a different... This kind of looks like text in a word processor. Interesting. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh. Ooh. God, her high notes are so beautiful. Okay, Reliquia is relic. Of course, that makes sense. Oh my god. Oh. My blunt in Mexico. Oh. Oh. In the city of glass, that's where I shaved my head. But hair will grow back. Oh, will purity do the same? The lyrics are going by so fast. It's hard for me to absorb them all, but I absolutely love the idea of this song. I lost this thing here, I lost this thing here. This thing was born here, I did this thing here. Just naming all these places. But can I, what was it? Can I get my purity back? Will my purity come back? Yeah. Take a piece of me. I'll be a relic. Like the idea of all these parts, like pieces of yourself and, you know, both like body parts and like things that you might wear, losing them and placing them everywhere. Like relics. I'll be your relic. Oh. Wow. Wow. I absolutely love the whole idea of this song. It's amazing. It's, I mean, oh my god. I can't, I don't know. I'm like, I can't believe this exists. Wow. Oh, that was beautiful. I love all this flashing text. I really love even the design of these lyric videos and how this one is different from the first one. They're going to do a little something different in each one. Wow. Hold on, because you could hear like a page turning and then what sounded like crumpling noises, and then everything just built up. That was amazing.
tiene salida, ni tiene mi perdón.
Oh my god. Wow. I love that one even more than the first track, but it's gonna be really hard to rank these against each other. I think that it's gonna be more like it flows as a whole album, and I won't want to put certain songs above others really because they all are like an important piece of it. I feel like that's gonna be the type of album that this is, where I can't really do any kind of ranking. Everything is kind of necessary for it to function, and they're all oh my god. I mean, it's all gonna be just absolutely beautiful and amazing and mind-boggling. But I just can't believe already we're only 2 tracks in, and like that. I just like, what is that? All right. Next up is the 3rd track, Divinize, which is apparently in Catalan and English. I'm very curious. I don't think I've heard like Catalonian music. Is it Catalonian? Is it Castilian when you say it like that? I'm not totally sure, but I haven't really. I think I've like heard a little tiny bit of it like spoken before. I don't know if I've heard it in music, so I'm very curious what that's gonna be like. All right, here is track 3, Divinize. Wonder how they'll do this video. Okay. Ooh.
Frita, roja y rodona, aquí la andadina, obviamente es la poma, que está prohibida, presencia música.
Her voice. Her high voice. My god. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I love that. Ooh. Oh my god, wow. Oh. Discomfort's delicious. I love that. It's going by too fast for me to comment on every lyric, but I'll just point out, you know, when I notice a really good one, and I love that. Oh my god. Ooh, pray on my spine, it's a rosary. Whoa. Drums. I love this part. God, this part. Ugh. Oh my god. You know it's good when the screen goes crazy like that. The strings and the drums and the build-up. Wow. 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 I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That was incredible. Just as the first two tracks were. There's such a good and satisfying like build up in that song. I love the idea of using her spine as a rosary. I was meant to divinize. There's so much like religious imagery in the lyrics on this album, and I'm sure on like a first listen, I won't like fully grasp everything, but my immediate reactions to the lyrics, I'm already just like absolutely wowed. It's absolutely amazing. Now we are up to track 4, Porcelana, and according to this person on Reddit, I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate, if there's any discrepancy in the like language listings, like let me know. But according to them, Porcelana has 4 languages: Japanese, Spanish, Latin, and English. I mean, I'm very excited for this one. I'm very excited, especially for the ones that have like these really unique language combinations that you don't really see. I'm just like, what is that going to be like? I can't wait to hear the sound of it coming all together. And this is featuring Dougie F. I don't know who that is, but let's proceed with Porcelana, track 4.
Mi piel es fina, de porcelana, de
My skin is thin like porcelain.
y de llamana, luz que ilumina,
A lot of stuff about light.
divina.
Ooh.
El placer anestesia mi dolor.
Ooh.
El dolor anestesia mi placer. Lo que tengo, lo que hago, mi valor. Y el dolor siempre vuelve a
Oh my God.
aparecer. Ti no creo.
Just the way that the strings are being used here in such a like frightening way, and the way that strings have been used on this album in general, like from what little I've heard so far, I'm just absolutely obsessed with.
Dolor siempre vuelve a aparecer. Hasta que te derrames en mi pecho, dentro de mi corazón y mi cerebro. Como un cubata cae en mi garganta y se vierte mi pelo hasta el suelo. Ego Sam Nil, Ego Sam Lux Mundi.
Okay, here's the Latin.
Ego Sam Lux Mundi. Ego Sam Nil, Ego Sam Lux Mundi. Mi, Ego Sam Lux Mundi. Traje algo pa' que tú te relajes. Aquí tienes este
Drums again.
Traje algo que te pueda coraje. I know that the way that you scared. Te puedo enamorar, yo te puedo inspirar, yo te puedo humillar, pa' bien o para mal, transformar antes de te.
Oh my God. Okay, here's the Japanese. I was wondering if they were going to show it phonetically on the screen or not, but they're just showing the characters. Let me just go. I want to catch the lyrics here. This one is so creepy and just like, I know that you're... And the parts... Oh wait, what is his name? Dougie F. His parts, they're not where I'm going like, oh my God, his singing, or like, this is so amazing. It's more just like this repetitive addition to the way that everything in the song is kind of like... I mean, he's literally saying like, I know you're scared, fear, and he's just like repeating it over and over. But it adds something to the way the song is just like this kind of oppressively building. Like it feels scary. It's just like, it just works. I don't know. If you think I'm crazy, that's the gift I was born with. Ooh. Wow. Queen of Chaos. Yeah, it's interesting when, besides like the, you know, auto-tune or like electronic modulation on his voice, there's a way that he's singing where like when he keeps repeating scared and fear, it's like it runs into each other. Like he doesn't really ever end the word scared. It's just like scare, 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 scare. Like fear, 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 fear. Like it's all just kind of like mushing together. And that, I don't know, I feel like that just vibes with the theme of the song. Everything just kind of blending together. It's just about the fear. Ooh. 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 I don't know what all the instruments are on this, but they're amazing. Oh my god. Now it's got this like divine sound. It's like hopeful now. It's ending like that? Ooh, that ending. That ending. That's so interesting. Like, it really did end on kind of a hopeful note. I don't know if it's like overcoming the fear or like having a good result after like going through all this, or like what exactly I would say that song is about. But I love the feeling that it gave me and the shift in the tone of the song, everything. That was just like yet another perfect track. And it's really so cool to see all the different languages being used like come together. So the next track, this is number 5 at this point. Yeah. So track 5 is Mio Christo Piange Diamante, and it's apparently entirely in Italian. I probably did not say that right, but here we go.
Sei l'uragano più bello che io abbia mai visto.
You know, I know that Rosalía doesn't like speak all these languages. She doesn't know them all. And I think she sort of like initially wrote lyrics using like translators online and then like sent kind of a first draft to like real human translators to, you know, correct any issues and make everything perfectly accurate. But it's interesting because when you end up with the end result where it sounds really good, like the words just like sound nice, it makes me wonder, like, were there any sounds or any words in these languages that she kind of already knew and had in mind for a certain sound lyrically, or did it just kind of come together like that by chance? I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, basically, she's writing these songs not fully knowing those languages. So it's like, how does she know when it's translated, like, how it's going to come out? Did she, like, do some translation and then kind of play with it to get, like, the perfect sounding words together? You know what I mean? Because it's not just, like, her singing and the instruments. There's also, like, certain words sound nice together. And maybe we can recognize that a little better in, like, our own language that we speak. But, like, in others, I'd like to think at least I can kind of hear, like, oh, does this sound good together? You know? And to me, it does. Like, I wouldn't know. I don't speak the language, so I wouldn't know if, like, the wording was, like, considered clunky or not. But, like, I guess I'm just saying, like, it feels like kind of a miracle that she wrote all this and kind of went through the translation process that she did, and it still came out sounding so good on the other end. Like, I certainly wouldn't hear this and know that the person who wrote the lyrics, like, you know, doesn't speak Italian. And like the previous track where she had some Japanese, and the upcoming tracks where she's apparently gonna have, you know, all these other languages. Like, it's just in my head, I'm already just sitting here going, like, how did this come about and just sort of like work out so perfectly? Anyway, gonna go back a little bit. A little bit of a ramble, but like I'm barely far in at all, and I'm just kind of like in awe, like, how did this happen?
Mai visto si alzarebbe per te.
Oh.
Fai tremare la terra.
So far, the song, like, the sounds are a little more, like, straightforward. Like, I don't think it's gonna get, like, really crazy and dramatic like the last track. But it's just, like, so beautiful.
Fai tremare la terra e si innalzi al tuo
Wow.
fianco. Ma quando non riuscire ad elevarsi sei tu.
Ooh. Wow. That too is like so like light. It's like so light and like so beautiful. And I'm just like, how does she do that?
Agenti del caos, ci smontiamo come i miti, mio re preferito. Quando piangi raccogli le tue lacrime e bagna la tua fronte.
Oh my god. Okay, we're getting dramatic now.
Qualunque sia il crimine, mio Cristo piange diamante, piange, piange diamante.
Wow.
Ti porto sempre. Ti porto sempre, sempre.
Ooh.
Sempre.
Ooh.
La verità
Ooh, that
è
bass.
che entrambi abbiamo macchia. C'è sempre qualcosa di te che ancora non so come il lato nascosto della luna una volta svelato. So che non lo dimenticherò. Quanti pugni ti hanno dato?
Ooh.
Che avrebbero dovuto essere abbracci.
How many blows have you endured that should have been hugs? Loving the shift in the sound and together with this line. It's like kind of a, whoa, what?
E quanti abbracci hai dato?
Ooh.
Che avrebbero potuto essere pugni. Mio caro amico, con te la gravità è graziosa, la grazia è grave.
Wow.
Il mio Cristo piange diamante.
Oh, now it sounds so like
Piange diamante.
light
Mio
and
Cristo
heavenly.
in diamante. Sembra ti porto sempre. Ti porto sempre. Sempre.
I love that. Sempre. Oh my god. And that is how you end that track. Oh! And the really dramatic, yeah, really dramatic ending. Holy crap. Well, That was only track 5. We're up to track 6, which is Berghain, which is the one that I've heard before. But when I do an album reaction, I am going to listen to everything in order, including what I've already heard, because I want to hear it in context. So, really interesting. I'm already thinking about, like, Berghain coming after this song. And, like, the meanings in this song and, like, going into Berghain and, like, what Berghain is about. Kind of like an obsessive love. And the earlier tracks, like Reliqua, with the idea of, like, giving away pieces of herself and saying, like, she always gives her heart away. I'm thinking about that in context with Berghain. Like, there's definitely some ongoing themes here. So let's listen to Berghain again. I mean, I've heard this a bunch of times, but here I'm just going to be focusing. Oh, you know what? And this is the lyric video with translation. So I get to just like look at the lyrics in real time and like really focus on it. So this is great. But yes, I have already reacted to this. If you want to go check that out, I'll put a card up here somewhere. I love this, like, showing all the lyrics across the screen. And I didn't check the language listing for this one, but I'm pretty sure I already know. It's German and Spanish and English. Ooh, it's flashing. There is something very dramatic about German in the way that I think nouns are like always capitalized. I don't know. It just makes it feel extra dramatic when you like see it written out. I love lead teddy bear. I said it already, but her voice here. Like, I just never had known that she could sing like that. And having heard the previous tracks and now hearing this, like, it fits in so well with the sound of this album so far. Ooh, now it turned black. Ooh. Oh. Alright, we got the Bjork part. Oh, I love the way they're doing this part. I like the repetition where they like have her singing like the only, it's like the only way, and then you kind of hear it like repeated in the background.
Till you love me, 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 till you love me.
I love the drums. And hearing the really dramatic drums in this song, and like I hear where they've been used in earlier tracks. Like I said, it's like everything fits together. Even the super jarring change in this song. Like I'm used to it now. And I'm just like, no matter how much of a like big juxtaposition it seems like, it still works. It still fits in with the whole thing, with the whole sound. And that was Berghain. my second reaction to Berghain, but just focusing on its place within the album. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I feel like it kind of goes along with, was it Porcelana or Divinize? That was a little bit creepy. I'm already forgetting, but like one of the previous tracks had like this creepy element to it, and Berghain, as it progresses, it fits in really well with that. So next we have La Perla. I've heard a lot of things about this one. I think there was like a TV performance and people really like this song. So, as with everything on this album, I can't wait to hear it. And it's with Yaritza y su Esencia, a person or a group, I don't know, but I'm sure they're going to be amazing. All of the features on this have just been really good and really interesting. So here we go. La Perla. Oh wait, let's see. What languages? Okay, yep. And as I was right, Berghain is German, Spanish, and English. La Perla is just Spanish. The one after it is also just Spanish. When I'm getting ahead of myself, but I can't believe like when we get to track 9, it's going to be Spanish and Ukrainian. I'm really excited for that. But I'm really excited to hear this because this one is really hyped up. Peace Thief. Ooh.
Él es tan encantador, estrella de la sin razón, un espejismo, medalla olímpica de oro, el más cabrón.
Gold medal in being a motherfucker. I have to say, the sound of this one, I know it's like deceptively simple right now, and it may or may not build up to be bigger than the sound. I don't know. Maybe we'll just have like a more simple song here. But it's interesting having this sound right after Berghain.
Un espejismo, medalla olímpica de oro, el más cabrón. Tienes el podio de la grandeza.
Ooh, the podium of disappointment.
Rompe corazones nacional, un terrorista emocional.
Emotional terrorist. Oh my god. This is amazing. These lyrics are amazing. Rip-off king. Wait, that's interesting. The rip-off king. El Rey de la... What is 13 and 14? Well, anyway. The king of 1314. There's obviously some kind of like expression or pun or something. It's really cool to see the lyrics in the original language that they're in and then have the translation, because I could see that is not, there's like some cool stuff at play there. I would love if someone could explain in the comments like what that expression means, why it's 1314.
No sabe lo que es cotizar. Él es el centro del mundo y ya después lo demás quedará.
I like these little sounds that are coming up. They're kind of creaking and tapping sounds. Really cool. Ooh. They'll build a monument to your dishonesty. This whole just like diss track, it's amazing. And actually, I'm starting to think about it in context of being the track after Berghain. Could this be about the man that she has this obsessive love for in Berghain? And then this song is like the song about how terrible he is, or maybe like sort of figuring out how terrible he is in the aftermath of that. I don't know if there's meant to be like this linear storyline there, but I'm kind of like getting that vibe. Because I'm thinking about, like, the sound is totally different. But, like, lyrically, it kind of makes sense coming after that song. Wow. Yeah. Walking red flag. Not the giggling.
Bueno, es que, claro, no referirse a él como icono sería para él una narrativa reduccionista, ¿me entiendes? Nunca le prestes nada, no lo devolverá, es su especialidad. Es un idioma que nunca entenderá. Su masterpiece, su colección de veces. Si le pides ayuda, desaparecerá.
Wow.
La decepción local rompe corazones nacional. El mayor desastre mundial es una perla. Nadie se fía. Es una perla. Una de mucho cuidado.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So I love the way that that built up. It still had like some flair and some drama, even though it wasn't nearly as like orchestrally intense as a lot of the previous songs. And that's just like in comparison, because there was a lot going on in that one, but like in comparison to what's come before, you know, it's like it makes it seem very simple, but it still had like that build up, and that one was very like fun and playful. So now we are up to track 8, Mundo Nuevo, New World. This one is just in Spanish. Let's go. Ooh, the light. Oh, that is really cool. The light building. Oh my god. Ooh.
Quisiera yo renegar.
I love this. I really like, I keep commenting on how they did the lyric videos, even though it's not really the point of this whole thing, but it's just really fun and interesting that they like did something different, a little bit different with each one. And this one where there's so much like vocalizing, they're moving the light along with their voice. I think it's really cool. And I love the vocalizing that she's doing. Wow.
Yo quisiera renegar de este mundo.
Wow.
Por entero, volver de nuevo a habitar. Madre de mi corazón.
I wonder why they said, "My mama, bless her soul," and the line is "mother of my heart." Is it like maybe a slightly different connotation? I don't know. That's interesting.
Volver de nuevo a habitar.
Ooh, ooh.
Por ver si en un mundo nuevo.
Ooh.
Volver que sigue en un mundo nuevo.
Ooh, I like how.
Ay, si encontraba
Ooh.
más verdad.
Whoa, it's really cool to end the song there. Really weird ending the song there because it feels like something else is going to happen and then it just like stops. I like how she did that line one way and then she delivered it in a totally different way, like a kind of different rhythm to it the second time. Yeah, really cool place to stop the song. I really like that one. Like I said, I love the way that they did the lyric video and it fits with the song and all her like vocalizing is amazing. That was a pretty short one, I think. And it looks like De Madruga is also very short, not even 2 minutes. So, I mean, there's a good number of tracks on this album, so it makes sense. Some of them are like these little small pieces. So, De Madruga, that's track 9. This is the one that is Spanish and Ukrainian. It makes me wish it was longer because I'm like, I want to hear more of that. But let's go. Let's check it out. At dawn. Ooh. The breathing. Wow. It was Ukrainian. Revenge wants me. Oh, wait, what does that mean? Is that also at dawn? I really like the way they're doing that. I guess it also means at dawn. That's cool. That was so short. I wish it was longer, but there is something fun about having this like short, snappy song. It does its thing and it's on to the next thing. That was so cool. Yeah, I keep saying this, but I love the combination of the different languages. I don't know what to say at this point. Just more of the same. Just complete shock and awe at all of this coming together and how amazing it is. So we're up to track 10. Moving along, but with me listening to the full version, there are 18 tracks. So we still got a ways to go. Track 10, Dios Es Un Stalker. Like, God is a stalker. And this is, well, other than the word stalker, I guess, this is just in Spanish. So here we go. Dios Es Un Stalker. This one is 2 minutes, 18 seconds, so it's also very short. Ooh, I like the pink text. Very computery looking. That breath is the breeze brushing your hair. I'm right behind you. Don't like pulling off divine intervention. But I'm gonna stalk my baby to make him fall for me. I'm just absorbing like the title of the song with the ideas and the lyrics, and I'm like, wow, okay. I own the world, you know. I'm the labyrinth you can't escape. So I wonder if it's like the title of the song, God is a Stalker, but the speaker in this song is like saying like, I'm the stalker, but maybe she's kind of saying like, I'm the stalker in the same way that like God is everywhere and always following you and everybody, like I am everywhere and always following you? Or is it kind of like saying like, I am God in this context? Ooh. Ooh. I like this change. Ooh. Worn out by all this omnipresence. It does sound like it's in the perspective of God. God who is a stalker and also the speaker. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like she's exploring this idea of like what God would feel like having all these followers that are supposed to be like important to him. And he has to always be there and witness everything and be omnipresent, and how that would wear you out, and how there's something stalkerish in like the idea of it. That's this one, just the idea of this song, the lyrics of this song are, I don't know if I could say like the most fascinating to me so far, because like everything has been really amazing and had really good lyrics, but this one really has me like thinking about that idea. Wow. Ooh, and that one just ends really abruptly. I really like, I don't know, I think it's fun when songs end abruptly. As long as it feels like it works, it's deserved in some way, and I think it does totally work. It's just like, bam, there you go, that's it. And we are up to track 11, which is La Yugular, and that is in Spanish and Arabic. And I think that's gonna sound like so good together. Love the drums again. Ooh. The lines on my hands. Oh. Oh, I love that. Really slowed down. Ooh, you're at once closer and more far than my own jugular vein. That's what Yugular is. Oh my gosh. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. I have no time to hate Lucifer. I'm too busy. Undibel? Who is Undibel? I'm gonna have to look up who Undibel is. Ooh. Wait, I want to hear that again. And then it just... Wow. Oh my god. The instrumentation. I like how this song, there was a thing about the part that's like my jugular vein is both close and far. I'm noticing that this song has like a push and a pull. So I'm thinking like close and far, and then this like the drama, and then kind of like speeding up and then slowing down. There's like a push and pull kind of in the sound of the song and like thematically a little bit. I'd tear heaven apart for you. I'd demolish hell for you. Both of them. Ooh. Ooh, it's like breaking up, like... Oh, that is cool. Oh, that's really cool. We got the light again a little bit. A little bit. fit in a haiku. And a haiku takes up a country. Now that's ocupa, so occupies. So a haiku occupies country. Wow. I can't. These lyrics are amazing, and I'm like, how did she think of this? It's like, I know that it's cliche to be like, oh, the lyrics are really poetic, or like, this sounds like a poem. But this song in particular, these lyrics really sound like a poem to me. And again, it's like the push and pull of like big and small, and this impossibly large thing fitting in a small space, and then like vice versa. Oh my god. And a continent can't fit into him. Okay, it's all building up to that. But he fits in my chest. But is him? Because, like, him was capitalized. So is him God? Or is it just, like, a man that she loves and he occupies such a big space that him is capitalized? It kind of sounds like it could be both.
Seven heavens?
Ooh.
Big deal. I want to see the 8th heaven, 10th heaven, 1000th heaven. You know, it's like break on through the other side. It's just like going through one door.
Why
one
was
door
that?
Isn't enough.
Whoa.
A million doors aren't enough.
That's really cool. I wonder what that's a sample from. Some movie, I'm assuming. I'm so curious what that is from. Oh, I remember there was something that I was going to look up. Oh, okay. So undibel is a Romani word for God, a Romani dialect in Spain. That's really cool. Okay. Now I'm gonna find out what movie or whatever that was a sample from. No! Oh my god! Okay. It wasn't, I was like, thought it was a line from a movie or maybe a show, but it's a sample from an interview with Patti Smith. Oh my god. Yeah, and that's really interesting. Okay. I'm glad I looked that up. That's really cool. And I wonder if she like saw that interview and built the ideas in the song off of that interview, or if she already had those ideas anyway and that was just an additional thing that made sense to put there. I could kind of see it going either way, but it's amazing. It just, this whole album, it's just like I keep thinking like it all comes together so well. It all works so well. The lyrics are so just like cosmic and mind-bending. And then at the end of it, I'm like, no, that makes sense. Like, I think I get it. At least a little bit of it. So the next song I'm listening to, this is the first one that's like from the physical version. So sort of like a deluxe extra track. It's called Focu, and it's Spanish and Sicilian. No, I found a lyric video of this. I think that the translation is just translating it into Spanish. So I may not have English to help me out with this one. That's all right. Still gonna listen. I will probably look up the English translation after this, but this is the video I have to check out the song. Ooh, really cool sounds. Really cool. Wait, let me see if there is an option. No, okay. I got nothing here. That's okay. You know, I can't say I'm like 100% surprised by this like high-pitched. It sounds like vocals that have been like edited a lot and like pitched way up and sped up or something. But I can't say I'm 100% surprised by it because there have been so many seemingly out of place sounds in this album. But again, it works. It's like, oh, that's so strange and it doesn't seem like it should fit here, but it totally does. I feel like that's just like the whole thing with this album is that doesn't seem like it fits here. Somehow, though, it works. Oh, okay. So yeah, this part is the Sicilian, and they're showing the Spanish translation on the screen. I do prefer being able to see like the original language and then like a translation, even if it was Spanish in this case, but like I can tell it sounds different. It's so weird and jarring and also beautiful. There we go. That was Focu ranni. I've already let my ponytail down. I wanted to wear white, but I wore violet. The sand you hold in your hands slips from your fists if you clench it. Better to speak now than silence me forever. And I can say that I'm at peace on my side. I will not be your other half. Never your property, I will be mine, with my own freedom. Interesting. What was built with love is harder to burn down, but there will be fires that you will not be able to extinguish. No one will throw rice to the sky anymore. There will be no more drunkenness or flowers. There will be no one to bless, a love they truly don't know. I carved your name into my ribs, but my heart never bore your initials. Sooner or later, fate strikes, even if you ignore its signs. You, my big fire. I threw myself into nothingness, to not lose my freedom and unconditional love. He is the only one who would accept. I'm throwing myself into nothingness before I get burned. Really cool. Really interesting. I don't really know what, like, I wanted to wear white, but I wore violet, like, what that means in particular. This one, it gives me a feeling, but I don't immediately have, like, big thoughts on the lyrics and their, like, exact meaning. But it's really beautiful to read, and it'll be interesting to go back to that song and listen to it again with these lyrics in mind. I like, what was built with love is harder to burn down, but there will be fires that you will not be able to extinguish. That is really interesting. I carved your name into my ribs, but my heart never bore your initials. Like, it wasn't a real love, I guess. No matter how much there was this, like, outward show of it, it, like, didn't really sink down deep. I threw myself into nothingness to not lose my freedom. And he is the only one who would accept. I don't know if that's, like, God or, like, a man, a person. You know, another person in contrast to the one being, like, sung to. I'm not really sure. But this is really just every single song has had really interesting lyrics. So I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. So next up, we have track 13, Sauvignon Blanc. So this is not one of the, like, bonus tracks. So if I hadn't looked that up and I didn't know, like, oh, there's extra tracks, then I would have gone straight from La Yugular to Sauvignon Blanc. And this one is entirely in Spanish. Here we go. So for the regular version, just like the online version, this is track 12.
Mi luz la prenderé con el Rolls Royce que quemaré cuando no quede nada que perder. Ya no quiero perlas ni caviar, tu amor será mi capital.
I like how we're coming back with the pearl. I don't want pearls or caviar. And that song, La Perla, is all like this diss track about this guy. And it's like saying he's a pearl, but that's not a good thing. So I just think it's interesting the way that came back in some small way. Even if it's, you know, it's talking about regular pearls, but I'm still just like thinking about that idea.
Sauvignon Blanc a tu lado. Ya no tengo miedo del pasado. Está en el fondo de mi copa de Sauvignon Blanc.
Now, this is a really simple and low-key one. And I have this feeling it might stay simple and low-key, but at the same time, I don't want to say that because all of these songs that I thought would stay simple, like, they went crazy on the instrumental too. So we'll just have to see where this one goes.
A mi Dios escucharé, mi porcelana la dejaré caer y regalaré mi piano de pared. Si hoy estás tú.
If you're here today.
Yo beberé Sauvignon Blanc a tu lado. En el fondo es un Dios. En mi Sauvignon Blanc a tu lado. Mi futuro sé bien que será.
Oh, wow. Oh, it is building. It built to this big thing. Ooh. The flashing. Oh, you can hear it. There was like a little kind of switch sound. Oh, that was beautiful. That was stunning. All right, we are up to track 14 of the full version, which is Jeanne. This song is in French and Spanish, so I'm kind of like attempting to say it the French way, but I'm not really sure. So this is another one for the video. I have Spanish subs, and it's going to be in French and Spanish. Then at the end, I will, for the ones that I didn't have an English translation, I'll look it up and I'll like talk about those lyrics. And I'm going to do that at the end, so just so you know, the time that I'm doing that is after I've listened to everything, but I might edit it into the reaction after each song that I do it for. So here is Jeanne or Jeanne or Jeanne. I don't think that it's Jeanne because it's N-N-E. I don't know. I know nothing. We got Rosalía as like a saint.
Entrégate et qui serait.
Here's the French.
C'était décidé. Lloraba de madrugada. Je m'en
French again.
tiembla si nadie a su lado.
That's really beautiful. I love that. Do 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 do. Ooh. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that, like, building up and then coming back down. And then that piano in the background. Love those. Ooh. I love the vocalizations going along with the instrumental. Oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Kind of like kind of like her vocalizing like far in the distance at the end there. That was really cool. That's a video I might be watching later. Anyway, it just, oh my god, every song, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Like, it was so beautiful. There was such a good push and pull, such a good build up, and then kind of it gets simple, gets more complicated again. It like builds up to this epic moment, and then it slows down, and then it like fades back. It's just so masterfully done. Like I said, I'll look up the lyrics to these extra songs, the lyric translations at the end of this, and I might put it in the video after this point, but I'll be looking at it at the end. Just because I want to like maintain the sound of the previous song in my head as I go on to the next one, to just fully get that experience of like listening to the album in a row. So I don't want to like interrupt it with anything if I can help it. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Enter, there is no way better to love than to destroy. And who will I be? It was decided, the voice of an angel revealed itself. She wept from dawn, life is short, so broken. I say goodbye, I entrust myself to my God, to his vows. Termination without anyone knowing, tenderness of sharp time, crowned and spurred, standing on my feet, light will appear, and the flames will destroy the cross. Pass over, spare me, the sword has abandoned me. My father, I will be neither a man nor a woman. It is my heart that calls me. If I leave you, if I am invited, to surrender my weapons without giving up my soul. Another one with, like, I think a lot of religious imagery. I don't fully kind of know what everything means. But yeah, this one is, like, very religious in particular. But I'm really curious about tenderness of sharp time, crowned and spurred, standing on my feet. Light will appear, and the flames will destroy the cross. And then, if I am invited, if I leave you, if I am invited, to surrender my weapons without giving up my soul. And it just ends there. Another really interesting one. I wish I had more like input on the lyrics, but I really don't. I don't even know why it's called Jeanne. I've got nothing. I'm not like, you know, sometimes I can analyze lyrics, but sometimes I'm just no idea. Really interesting. Like, it's a lot to chew on, but I'm just in the chewing on it stage. So our next track is Novia Robot. This is another extra track. This is the one that I've really been anticipating the most, just based on the languages that are in it, because I've been like, how do you put these together? What does that sound like? I'm so intrigued. It's Spanish and Mandarin and Hebrew. And I'm excited to hear her sing in Mandarin. Her accent has sounded like really amazing to me through everything. Although of course I'm not like a judge of how you should sound in like Italian or Japanese or, you know, any of those languages. And I can't say I'm absolutely not a judge of how you should sound in Mandarin either. But I'm like starting to learn it. So it's like kind of, I'll be able to notice a little bit more about it. So you know what I mean? So I'm curious like how she's going to sound in it. But she has been amazing in like every language from what I can tell. Here is Novia Robot. And this video says lyrics, or it says sub Espanol plus lyrics. So I'm thinking maybe like it is showing the lyrics in the original language as well as the Spanish translation. We'll see. But that would be cool. I'd really like to like see them on the screen. Oh my gosh. Hey, we have English lyrics. We have an English translation. I was like not even registering it for a second. And I'm like, oh, hold on. That's exciting. Okay. I heard a little bit about the concept of this song and I'm very fascinated by it. And I love this introduction. Armed power. Ooh. Make you happy whatever the cost. Whoa. Ooh. I want to say that this song maybe sounds a little bit more like some of her older stuff with this added like weird like frame story element that I don't know if she would have done stuff like that before. But some of her previous songs that I heard, this is kind of reminding me of them just in like the overall sound. Freed myself and I freed you. Ooh, oh, hold on. I love that she did part of this song in Mandarin. It's so cool. I don't know. It just, like, I don't know. I was talking about this before, but I was kind of like, I wonder how she decides what language to use. And it's amazing how the lyrics end up sounding good in that language and, like, how did that happen? And I wonder if she thought, like, this would sound cool in Chinese, like, what the thought process was. But it's really good. I want to hear it again. You know, it's kind of a shame that this song is like, you know, an extra. It's not on the regular online version because I feel like people who don't know are totally missing out. I mean, I feel like that about the other extra songs too, but like, this is so cool. Interesting in the concept of this song. I only get Pretty for God. And the concept of the song with these sort of like forced like sex robots. I'm just thinking about that lyric, what that means in this context. I have no idea, but it's interesting. Never for you, never for anyone. Only pretty for my God. Very cool. Okay, this part is in Hebrew. So I see what they're doing now is like we had the English translation to the Spanish part when it was just in Spanish, but they're only showing 2 languages on the screen at once. So no English for the Chinese part or the Hebrew part, but very cool still. That's beautiful. Oh, it just ends like that. Oh, wow. Okay. That's how that song ends. That one felt the most abrupt. Like, a lot of these songs have had an abrupt ending, but that one took me off guard. I wasn't expecting it to end like that. It just, bam. Flipping the switch off, that's it. So that was Novia Robot. Wow, okay, so I've now heard her, I believe at this point, so the only language I haven't heard her sing in yet that she's going to is Portuguese. She's gone through so many. That's amazing. So this part, I saw, Welcome to Robotics with K, a world of female robotic fantasy. I'm not going to read this whole thing, because like you could see it in the video. I will link the videos I used that were made by other people other than the like official Rosalía channel, the ones for the extra tracks. I will link those in the description so you can find them, so you can see in this one the parts that were translated to English. But yeah, this one is a very interesting concept. What I did want to look up is what is Poo China? Okay, this is really weird. Long live the electronic Poo China. Poo China. All I'm getting from looking it up is like links to the Flop Talk wiki, which is like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like this weird internet pop culture thing with all these like nonsense terms. I think it is sort of like a, yeah, I know, I don't know if this is a Flop Talk thing or if it's just simpler than that and it's literally just like a funny way of saying vagina. And normally I would be like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like it fits at all. But considering the meaning behind this song and that they're like sex robots, is there another established meaning of this word? Is it something that they just like didn't translate because they couldn't translate it? Like, am I completely wrong in like what I'm looking up? I don't know. I would think that if it meant something else, then I would be able to Google it and find it, but I have not. So that's what I can conclude, I guess. Okay, now I forget all the parts that I saw the English of already, so I'm just going to read the lyrics from here. Burn the manual for the same thing. for the same thing, and this manual for yours. Yours. I freed myself. I freed you. I freed myself and I freed you. A robot girlfriend is what you want today. Oh, yeah, I think this is the part that was in Mandarin. A robot girlfriend is what you want today. I'm sorry, my dear, but I'm real. A robot girlfriend is what you want today. I'm sorry, my dear, but I'm real. All right, and this part was also translated. I'm the Roro. I'm wearing a tutu, very rococo, and I got attitude. I love it. Yeah, pretty for God. I get pretty for God. Never for you, never for anyone. Only pretty for my God. Really love that part. And then I think this is the Hebrew part. I was born to rebel, and I rebel to be born again. If pressure makes diamonds, then why aren't we all shining? And that's it. I mean, I say that's it, but, you know, there's a lot to this song. There's quite a lot of lyrics, actually. It's just that most of it I already saw the translation of. If pressure makes diamonds, then why aren't we all shining? Because everybody's under pressure. Why is there inequality? Or like, I'm going to rebel and be different because we're not all diamonds, and I want to be a diamond. I'm not sure, but I really, really like this one. And I don't know, it's hard for me to, it's like I could say that about any one of these tracks, but I really, really like this one. So the next track is La Rumba del Perdon. That's just in Spanish. Now this is on the regular version. So here we go. Excited to come back to these like really well done lyric videos. They're just really professional. Oh, oopsie. I want to put those back on. You and your homie. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh. But with you, I forgive it all. She's saying, with you, I forgive it all. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I like this vocalization. Ooh. Oh, I love that. So I think it's kind of like a story about you have this guy and his friend, and it's like, well, you might not forgive him for everything he did to you, but I forgive you for everything you did to me. Ooh. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Yo sé que tú eres pa' mí. Yo sé que tú eres pa' mí. Yo sé que vendrás a mí. Dice la calle que tú eres pa' mí. Dice quien sabe que tú eres pa' mí. Se dice en la plaza que tú eres pa' mí. Dile a tu madre que tú eres pa' mí. Ooh. Oh, I love that. Sangre metida en las venas. Primero viene el veneno y luego la pena. La que piensas que puede escaparse del plan divino. El que le está gritando del quinto al cuarto a su vecino. La que siempre está. Sorry, I keep noticing when they do the lyrics like this where they're using the number instead of spelling out the word. Sorry, that's so like unimportant, but it just interests me. Because they said quinto al cuarto a su vecino, and they wrote it like fiveto al forto. Interesting. It's really interesting that they did that. And most of the lyric videos text has looked like typed out text on a computer. So I wonder if with certain things they're trying to emulate like online kind of slang expressions, or like what the purpose of writing it that way is.
La que siempre está dando muela y en habladuría. El que nunca dice lo que piensan que debería. El que me dejó a mí antes que dejar su botella. El que se muerde los puños de rabia. Y la rabia la
For her who bites her fist in fury, and fury f***s her over.
muerde a ella. Cuando el poder pesa más que el amor. El que mató a puñalas y el pulso ni le tembló. Clava cuchillo tan hondo que lo perdió.
Wow.
El que tiene alma de santo pero sigue pecando. Cuando has mentido por mentir o has mentido por tu verdad. Cuando has querido más de lo que Dios te ha querido dar.
By the way, I forgot to read off like who is featured in this. Estrella Morente and Silvia Perez Cruz. They're both amazing as well.
Anudar y desanudar, desnudarse y desnudar, para hacerlo como se debe. Fuego en las manos, ternura en los ojos y a mí presente en el lugar. Técnicamente eso sería un trío, pero si solo miro no contará.
Oh, wait, I want to look at those lyrics again. To do it right, you'll need 3 things. Fire in your hands, softness in your eyes, me standing right there. Technically, that's a threesome. But if I only watch, it won't count. Whoa, I'm gonna be stewing on that. Whoa. Really interesting lyrics right at the end there. Just like, I don't know, the lyrics through this whole thing have been just absolutely amazing. And I'm only scratching the surface at like what I'm taking from it. And I know that. So that was La Rumba Del Perdon, track 16 on the big version. Track 17 is Memoria, which is in Portuguese and Spanish. So this is like the final language, Portuguese. So this one, Memoria, is also the final, like, bonus track. Is it? Hold up. Oh, never mind, I lied. It's not a bonus track. It's on the regular album, too. We're done with the bonus tracks now. I just forgot that this automatically transferred to the next song, and I didn't see it. And this is featuring Carminho. I haven't known anybody who's been featured on this, but all the features have been amazing. Besides Björk and Eve Tumor. But other than them, I haven't known like any of the features. They've all been amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Ainda te lembras de mí. Ainda sabes de onde eu vi. Que sou esta que aqui estou. Que alguma memória existe. E ainda sabes quem sou. Diz-me se ainda tropeço, se me alegro, se agradeço. Recorda-me, por favor.
This is like a beautiful lullaby.
Alguma coisa, o que for, que eu não consigo lembrar. Vem comigo pela cidade.
Here's the feature.
Diz-me com sinceridade se tu te lembras de mim.
I love like the choral background.
Onde cresci, amei, com quem vivi e me dei, ou se algo eu pus fim. Que o tempo passa e não esqueces quem eu fui e sou, enfim. Oh, meu doce coração, diz-me se sabes ou não, ainda te lembras de mim. Siempre que me acuerdo de algo,
Okay, now it's back into Spanish.
un poco diferente. Y sea como se hace recuerdo, siempre es verdad en mi mente.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's like Christmas has already happened, but it's like Christmas time, holiday time. Parts of the sounds of this song are like reminding me of a Christmassy song. Maybe it's just because it's such a calm track after so much of this album that I'm thinking that. I don't know.
Siempre es verdad en mi mente. Falta de pasado es el
Absence of the past is oblivion.
Cuando muera solo pido no olvidar lo que viví.
Oh, now we're big. Wow. It's this whole album is like, it's the dynamics. It's like building to something really big and then going back down small again, and just like the dynamics of everything is so perfect.
Ainda te lembras de mí.
So beautiful and so calm. That one just kind of ends in like a very, like more standard expected way. You know, just compared to some of them like being really abrupt, and that some of these songs being really all over the place, not in a bad way, but just like in terms of big and small and crazy and, you know, just like, you know, just everything that has come before. That one was probably the calmest track. Even with the little dynamic switch up at one point, I would still say so, that it was definitely the calmest track. And I feel like a little bit light and floaty and like a little bit sleepy, not like bored, but just like it had such a like lullaby element to it. We're down to the final track, Magnolias, which is just in Spanish. This is it, track 18 for the full version. I can't believe it. We have gone through a journey, and here we are. I like that. We got the pink text again.
Dicen que si vieras pasar a tu lado la muerte, que es larga, te da buena suerte. Todos habéis venido hasta mis enemigos.
God, her high voice.
Hoy lloran. Tírame magnolias, tírame magnolias, tírame magnolias.
Ooh. Oh, that's really beautiful. I gotta say that this one is another kind of simple sounding one, and it really makes sense for the album winding down. Just like more like simple, beautiful lullaby-ishness at the end of the album. Really simple. It really just went out for a second. Now, what is KTMS?
Sobre mi ataúd, KTMS quemando rueda, lágrimas y goma se derriten la madera, gasolina y vino tinto, puros y chocolates, bailando con amor encima de mi cadáver.
So it's the ending song of the album, and it's like about her own death. Oh, wow.
Ella a mí me desarmó y yo le estoy agradecida. Y lanzará azúcar moreno sobre mi ataúd. Quedaros despiertos hasta que vuelva otra vez la luz. Promete que me protegerás a mí y a mi nombre en mi ausencia. Yo que vengo de las estrellas, hoy me convierto en polvo.
I come from the stars, but today I turn to dust to go back to them. Hold on, let me hear that again. Her vocals got quieter. And that's it. There we go. That's the end. Absolutely incredible. Just absolutely. I can't, I've I've said so many things, but that was just like amazing, shockingly good. I know everybody was raving about this album, and from hearing Berghain, I knew it would be really, really good, but I still, I didn't know what the experience would be like until I had it. So now I've had it, and I'm just like, it boggles the mind. So I guess I have to sit here and come up with like final thoughts for this. Yeah. I think I've said everything that I could possibly say about this already, but just like in summary, this was such an amazing experience to listen to see the lyrics, to think about the lyrics, to hear all of the amazing like orchestral instrumentation, and just experience the dynamics of it. Like I said, like dynamics is such a big part of it, where it's like it swells up to this big thing and then it gets small again, and then it's like in the songwriting, like Rosalía always knows what to make really dramatic and when to like dial it back and make it kind of more faint and simple. But there's so much drama overall, but it works because the drama isn't like constant. Yeah, I think dynamics is like a big thing with this album. I wish that I could more like intrinsically understand like some of the lyrics, because like there's so much depth to them, and I know I'm only scratching the surface on some of the meanings. But there's some videos people like analyzed the heck out of this album and like what everything means, and I will definitely be looking at stuff like that, because I just like to know, the ideas behind this stuff and like what the references are that I don't, get on my own. So I'll be checking stuff out, like that. But I can say I did understand like some level of it, and I can already tell the lyrics are just absolutely incredible. Like the music is at like genius level, and I think the lyrics are too. And I can't wait to just like listen to this again in full without pausing, without stopping to talk, and just like fully immerse myself in the experience. This has been truly an incredible album, and I think as many people have said, I think this might be the album of the year for me. It's December 29th for me right now. It's very close to being the new year, and I think I have a new album of the year, so yeah, I think that gives you a good idea of what I thought of this. Thank you so much for watching what is probably going to be an extremely long video. I really appreciate it. So that's what I had to say on all that. And I would love it if you left a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me, I had some questions about what does this mean? What does that mean? Tell me your thoughts on that stuff if you know the answer to any of my questions. If you have thoughts about what the lyrics mean, or like, do you have a favorite song? Like, just tell me any of your thoughts. And I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And until next time, this is eSoup signing out.